In the whole realm of thing, this is what it's all about, right here, is the family.
Yeah.
This is what matters.
My great-grandfather came here, immigrated from Norway. So all my descendants were from Norway. And part of Renee's family came from Sweden. So we're all Scandinavians here, completely. And my great-grandfather came here in 1887. So I'm the 4th generation, Scott's 5th generation farmer here. And always been on this place. Been here ever since. So I was raised here, my dad was raised here, my grandfather was raised here.
We went to high school together.
We went to grade school together.
And then we went to NDSU and graduated there. And then we got married, hitched up, and been at it for 43 years, so.
I don't know why you want
And this is Ina.
to. She's the oldest.
She's the oldest.
Okay.
And then my daughter has 2 children, Matthew and Sophie.
We have a 5th grader, 3rd grader, and now Peter is a kindergartner, and he goes 5 days a week. And it is wonderful.
The farm's been slowly growing throughout time, you know how that goes. And our farm actually expanded a little bit this year. We took out some more land. That's why we picked up a hired man to kind of help with the farm. Otherwise, it's always been just family. It's just been us. Jessica comes, and her dad would come and help out a little bit. My brother-in-law would come out, and, you know, some friends and family sort of thing. But for the most part, it's just been a core, just us. Last year, the crop was a little bit down. You know, we had struggled last year. And we remember North Dakota, that's why we had a lot of PP this spring. It was frustrating. You know, the crop wasn't great, the prices weren't great, we're all familiar with that. But this year's been more optimistic. You know, the prices have come back a little bit, the crop's a little bit better, the weather's been better. So we're probably about a month ahead of time compared to last year as far as harvest, right? So this year's been better from that standpoint. From an agronomy standpoint, I think it's been going better. You know, there's been other issues, right? Of course, there's always issues when it comes to farming, you know. So, you know, marketing's been kind of a challenge, to say the least. You know, you never know what's going on. Things have changed so fast. No, we've only been combining for a few days, right? You know, so I would say overall, you know, we're only 20% harvested, right? I think we've combined probably our poorest bean. I think we might be combining our best beans now. So I think everything will kind of fall in between there. I would say we'll be right around average, maybe slightly a little bit below, and that's part of the conditions we went into this spring. So like we were talking earlier, I didn't get done combining until the end of November, right? Froze up, couldn't do anything. Well, we were wet last fall. So this spring, we didn't have any tillage, and we were still wet, and we were nervous about getting the crop planted, so we, I won't say pushed things, but we pushed things, right? We were one rain away from not getting it planted, right? So we better get out there and open up the fields a little bit and get that stuff in the ground. And then it didn't rain, you know? So our crops suffered because of the previous year. So those fields that did not get work last fall and were planted in subpar conditions, those fields are suffering. The fields that got work last fall and maybe have some drain tile underneath them and got planted a little bit earlier, those fields don't really well. So you gotta average them, right? Of course, you know, combine them all. I would say better, poorer, you get an average crop. If that makes sense. So I'm hoping to average in that 40s range, you know, somewhere in there, low 40s. Nothing spectacular. You know, we're combining some beans right now that are going to probably average close to 60. We've combined some beans that are in the 30s. You just got to average them, right? So it's all over the board. Quality looks good for the most part. So we mentioned earlier that it froze September 9th. You know, there was some fields that were very green at that time, because that's fairly early. Even for North Dakota, that's still a little bit early, okay? And the fields that got planted a little bit later, they had some green beans that probably froze. So I don't know if it's going to affect protein or oil. I can't answer that because I don't think we know yet. If you ask me in a week, I can maybe tell you. If you come back, you're going to have to come back.